the guys, my 18, to discuss the Premier League. The Premier League happened throughout this weekend and have some fantastic results throughout the weekend. You have results from the La Liga, the Serie A, and Nigerian Professional League. Rangers International winning that game by 1-0 when that lovely free kick was scored. That was a beautiful free kick, one of the best free kicks that I've seen in the Nigerian Professional League. It was scored, and Rangers winning that game 1-0. Welcome guys to the show. Okay guys, welcome John. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. Good morning, sports fans. I'm glad to be here.
Welcome Nonso. How are you?
Oh, good morning. Exciting weekend. Good results so far. Even if I'm not happy about it, but good results so far.
Okay, let's start with the English Premier League. Okay, guys, remember we are live on YouTube at Volt FM Sports. We are live on YouTube at Volt FM Sports. When you go there, drop your comments. I will be reading your comments live here in the studio. Okay, let's start with the results of the English Premier League. On Saturday is Crystal Palace 0, Liverpool 1. Arsenal 3, Southampton 1, Manchester City 3, Fulham 2, West Ham 4, Ipswich 1. So be happy. Brentford 5, Wolves 3, Leicester City 1, Bournemouth 0, Everton drawing against Newcastle 0-0. On Sunday is Chelsea 1, Nottingham Forest 1, Aston Villa 0, Manchester United 0. Then Brighton 3, Tottenham Hotspur 2. Okay, let's start.
Yeah, now my joy, the real joy.
That game was interesting. Okay, let's start with the early kickoff on Saturday. Crystal Palace losing that game 1-0 against Liverpool.
Well, Crystal Palace, I've said this before and I'll continue to say it. I think losing some of their players, they kind of struggle to score goals. I saw that against Man United. I saw that against some other credible sides. They struggled to score goals. They struggled against Chelsea to score goals. They had more chances, but they struggled to bury those chances. And against against Liverpool, I saw the same thing again, where the goalkeeper, after Alisson, the second half, on the 60th minute, they sprung into life. They played the Liverpool side game. I was seeing that game. I was seeing Crystal Palace create multiple chances. Arteta going on to miss them. Eze going on to miss those chances. Incredible chances that could have been buried. But that game lacked criticality, and I felt like Liverpool did not take their chance in the first half. Now, Crystal Palace in the second half are not taking their chances, which means one of these teams will have to cry, because in the future it will come back to bite, because this is a game you should be winning with multiple goals. Because if you create 15 chances and you miss 9 or you miss 14 and score just 1, though you get the 3 points, but what if the other team comes back from behind and creates their own 15 chances and score more?
Now, 1-0, because only one goal in the Premier League is
it's still a good one for Liverpool side. I think it's the 5th clean sheet of the season. It's still a good one for them. 5 clean sheets in the Premier League season so far. Good result for Liverpool. They would be happy with themselves. They are good in their defensive area. They are good in the midfield. But scoring those chances would help them, do them a whole lot of good. Because in the future, you're playing against a Nottingham Forest side again that doesn't relent, against a Fulham side that doesn't relent, against a Brighton side that doesn't relent. One goal is not enough to win that game.
That's the thing, I keep saying it that sometimes you come away with a win, but inside yourself, you know that, bro, it was really close. It could have gone anyway. I think that's how Liverpool will be feeling after winning that match. You see, we keep seeing teams in the Premier League keep on missing chances, and at the end of the day, it could be those chances that were left unconverted that decides where the title is going, who has a better goal difference.
Yes.
We saw it come down to that a couple of seasons ago. We also saw it come down to teams that are fighting for survival in the Premier League. It could be a clumsy game that you should be comfortably winning, that you just lose in this manner, that sends you into relegation, So right now it's still early, so nobody is seeing the ramifications of all these poor choices and profligacy up front. But Liverpool should, let me just calm down. If Liverpool no buy striker very soon.
Why they buy striker? Jordan Scott and Nunes. They have Nunes.
If Liverpool no buy striker,
you know the worst part. Slow motion Gakpo, they now striker and be, but they play from the flanks. They get Nunes, good player. He score goals. Forget saying go hit like 15 bar. Hits the woodwork like 15 times before he score 1 goal. Now good striker. In the score tappings, but in the coming to score goal.
Where all of them yesterday when they find goal. That's what I'm talking about.
Palace.
It's not about having strikers in your side. It's about having people that are coming in, week out, and they are creating chances and scoring those chances.
No matter how you praise Liverpool side for keeping clean sheets, you should also praise the Crystal Palace side for sitting deep and hitting on the break.
Granted, they made it difficult for Liverpool, but Liverpool still created chances.
No man, you go
We
create
saw
chance,
it
na
there
Liverpool,
now.
na Liverpool.
We also
But
saw them
see,
miss a couple of those chances as well.
I've told
too.
you this before. I've told you that Liverpool midfield knows how to set Salah up on a 1v1 situation. Yes. Now, all the passes they go Salah side and 1v1, it always meet at 1v1. Against what's it called Arsenal, it was always Saka and two other defenders. No, there was no way you could beat two. It was always on a 1v1 for Salah. And every time he gets a 1v1, he beats his man. I've said this before. But in that game, you see Salah do 1v1. No, there was no time in the game that he had one-on-one chance
Of
to take
course,
on the
Crystal
defender.
Palace pack boss.
Not so they absorb the pressure, know how to stop the key men. From the flanks, Liverpool didn't create much. It was all coming from the middle. You get McAllister, Gravenberch, and the rest of them. They were all coming from the middle. And whenever Crystal Palace holds on to the ball, it's a counter. Mateta is good with hold-up play. He holds up play, he lets it loose to Eze or any other person running forward, and all these players go on to miss the chance. I'm just saying, if Crystal Palace has buried their chance, it will give Liverpool that knack that they should wake up. I was talking about the Liverpool side before the summer window closed, and I said they had 8 midfielders and 5 attackers, which they ended up adding one more person to that list, which is 6. So in every position they have two players. Up front, in front of goal, they have Nunes and Jota. On the flank, they have Luis and slow motion Gakpo.
So if then they
And
can't
the right
calm down. So then they can't strike and now you go count Jota put inside.
I will count and
Jota
put now
scored,
for
Jota
what?
scored.
Jota is the winger now. Come on, let's not go there.
For Fatih Wonders, he played as a striker. He played from the flanks. The same thing with Cody. Cody can play from the flanks and can play as a striker.
Okay, that game ended 1-0 to Liverpool. They stay top at the English Premier League. They stay top going into this international break. Okay, let's move on to the 3 p.m. Fixtures. Arsenal winning that game against Southampton by 3-1. Arsenal going after the first half was quite boring, even though Arsenal controlled the game in the first half. But Arsenal is always Arsenal. You know, some people keep talking about Arsenal playing at the Emirates. They are more comfortable. That's why they concede a whole lot of goals. When they are playing away, their guards are up, so they want to defend well. They don't know mistakes, but they play free football at Emirates. Most times that makes the opponent attack them and concede. They came back in the second half and conceded that goal, but they fought back and win that game 3-1, John.
If Southampton had kept to their style from the first half, they will still come out with 0-0 for this one. But John,
I disagree.
But John, they went out of their way. They felt like they've done a good job in the first 45 minutes. What's it called? Ramsey was in his prime in the first 30 minutes of the game, so they felt they could just come out and attack Arsenal, and that was the beginning of their crisis.
If you look at that game, John, Arsenal are a top team. Now they won that game comfortably by 3-1. Do you think that they got the formation right, the midfield setup, them starting Sterling, starting a couple of midfielders? You know, it was somehow Partey even starting at the right back. Do you think that Arteta got it right the way he set up his team to play?
I think it wasn't just Arteta getting it right the way he set up his team. I think there's a little bit of good fortune in this match for Arsenal, because if you look at the first half, even the blind can see that Arsenal were under pressure from Southampton. And if you look at the goal that Archer scored, phenomenal goal, calling the ball around Raya as he did. Good goal, good performance from Southampton. I feel like where they felt they got carried away because they were winning, and they started to take more risks, come out more, be less reserved, be less compact. And Arsenal, you only need to give them just one opportunity in front of the fans for them to hit you in the back, and they did. So for me, the way Arteta moved his team around to cover for the holes in the defense, Ben White is not available, and then
still not match fit.
Yes,
they are still trying to manage his fitness level.
Yes, so moving them around the way he did was fantastic. And playing Partey where he did. Partey is such a top professional that he can play off position and still make that position look like his native position. So kudos to Partey. For me, the team, the way they were set up was a good one. We saw everybody playing their role. The only place we had a little niggling was in the midfield, because Jorginho wasn't feeling the Partey rule as well as, he can only live up to a player's performance, but he gave a good account of himself. But we saw that Arsenal lacked passes going forward.
Where did pass and go forward,
with Partey missing in that midfield, one, And two, we also saw that Declan Rice, for all his bossing, moving forward and all of that, he came back more to assist Jorginho. So it was a reserved play from midfield. It was when we saw some changes coming into the second half that the game really came alive. Because for everything you want to say about Sterling, Sterling is fast, Sterling is fleet-footed, but going into the 18, Baba is just a dud. I don't know what else to say.
Okay, also the Starboys scoring one and Starboys. Leave Sterling.
Call that in the call again.
Sterling, Starboy scoring one and assisting two. What do you make of it? He has been the captain for Arsenal. The striker has been the captain for Arsenal for the past 3 or 4 games. Now, what do you make of him? There is talks in social media that he's not, in quotes, he's not a world-class player. But for me, I think he does the simple things consistently. So it's not all this flair, he kicks the ball or dribbles that much, but he does the simple things very well. But what do you make of his performance for that game?
Good performance so far. I think the way where he kind of saw the light was when Kyle Walker-Peters shifted from the right to the left. That was when he got his free, like it was as if leadership would leave a hand, making excel. You get. But I think for that game, in the first half, he was flat. They had 2 players on him all through the games, and he couldn't get over them. He couldn't do anything around them. He couldn't get around them. They just had to stop him one way or the other. And same thing goes with Sterling. But Sterling, being the player he is, always tries to force his way into defensive line. And sometimes he pays off, sometimes he doesn't. But when you succeed in forcing your way through, please look up and see the person running behind you.
You pass the ball to.
That was the only thing that Sterling missed out. I think he forced his way through the defensive line on 3 occasions, but didn't look up enough and was begging for a foul, which was
which is not nice to see anytime.
Saka, on the other hand, forced his way through, I think, at some point, and lose the pass. And that was, you lose the pass, fine, the defenders are top notch, they are doing their job. But throughout that game, he was well reserved. He didn't want to do, because I know Arsenal have faced enough injuries so far. If he had gone in like Sterling did, he might have suffered an injury, because I know Kyle Walker-Peters is not one of those players that would pity you. I know Archer is not one of those players that would. Archer is a dribbler, he's just an attacker. He knows how to stop attackers. So it would have been reckless for him to have gone into challenges like that.
But for me, you have to give it to Saka. 2 assists and a goal is phenomenal. Especially if you saw that 3rd goal. Come on, also. You have to give it to the man.
I didn't take away. I gave him. I said he's
yes,
good.
But you have to put him. You have
flat.
to put him in a conversation of world class.
Come on.
Yes.
Come on now.
You have to put him in a conversation of world class. It's not about it being too early to call. The man has been there, done that consistently for over 3 seasons. What more do you want?
Okay, that game ending 3-1 for Arsenal. Havertz scoring the equalizer. Then Martinelli was introduced in the second half, and he scored that second goal. Then Saka scoring the final goal. Arsenal running away with that game 3-1.
Let's not forget the fans' ovation for Ramsdale too, because he was in tears.
Ramsdale came back after leaving Arsenal in the summer.
Prime Ramsdale for first half. They just go change tactics. If we just carry clean sheet, go back Arsenal. If we just carry clean sheet, go back Arsenal.
Obviously, Arsenal title contenders don't need to actually go far about that one. They are going to be there probably to the end of the season, because, as I keep saying on this show, we need to wrestle. Anybody need to wrestle that league away from Manchester City. Talking about Manchester City, they won that game 3-2 against Fulham, John.
They almost drew that game.
They almost drew, yes, but they won.
Almost.
That's what you keep saying about Manchester City. They almost draw, but they win.
No, see, after considering first, I think after considering, they went 3 goals up. Now it was 3-1 at some point. And towards the end of the game, Fulham came attacking. Fulham came looking for a result and got the last goal of the game. And was also, they continued. They didn't just stop there. They continued to see if they could push out the draw. I was like, you guys should have started like this since the beginning of the game. At least you guys matched these people blow for blow towards the ending of the game. But it was already late, because 3 goals against the City side, there's no way you can just come from behind and play a 3-3 side. Unless you are the fastest team in the world, your team is full of
Torreira was missing chances. If Torreira actually was on top form, I don't even know when he's top form or not top form. But
Torreira did top form. He always did form. They did.
Yes,
top form.
I think he missed a whole lot of chances. Fulham actually gave a good account of them in that game, but they couldn't get that result. I think if in another Premier League fixtures, they probably would have actually got 3 points, and when they went to the Etihad, John.
Yeah, if they were playing maybe an average side, maybe they were playing maybe an Arsenal or maybe a Chelsea or a Man U, maybe, but not necessarily when you're playing the champions. You are 4 in a row for a reason. Come on, you just can't come into
John,
Etihad Stadium
you get what
and
John talk for
bamboozle
that
the
sentence.
fans.
You get what John talk for that sentence. He said, maybe if you are playing an Arsenal and an average side.
I wonder why he put Arsenal
Wait,
as an average side. I was
when he
looking
talk,
at him.
he said, if you are playing an average side, then the first name will come up for your head. Arsenal, not even Tottenham, maybe Aston Villa, not be Newcastle. The first name off your head. You see, let's forget this.
Okay, let me rephrase. If you're playing a West Ham,
against West Ham, they don't feel win. No shaking. Against West Ham, they don't feel win.
you dey give them now, but on Saturday you are afraid to say you guys were going to. You are saying
because I like my man. I'm not going to lose his job, McKenna.
Okay. That City game. If you look at that, Haaland didn't score again. Kovacic was probably the man of the match, scoring 2 goals, and Doku scoring that fantastic strike outside the 18-yard box. But generally, City is going to be City, and they probably trying to defend, getting that 5 in a row. But it's possible because they have not. Them and Arsenal, Manchester City and Arsenal are the only 2 teams left in the Premier League that have not lost a game. They have not lost it, even though they are second. But Man City is Man City. If they keep this momentum to December and let's enter in January, February, when there is a spirit that comes on them.
A special anointing.
They will just do it 14 matches and trash everybody and win the league. But that game against Fulham, they actually did well and they won that game comfortably.
Yeah, they did. They played well. My only worry is that we've still not found the missing link for activating Haaland when Kevin De Bruyne is not around.
The missing link for activating Haaland is Foden.
Foden played that game.
But the thing is, there's this level of creativity that Foden has that is not the same level of the other players. You understand? He never reached that level of this person yet. So until he has that connectivity between himself and Kovacic, then he would unlock. He will unlock Haaland. But for now, he never reached that level. So he's the only one that could.
I don't know. I think he is the Premier League footballer of the year last season. That's Foden. Yeah. But this season he have not really picked form, and this is actually the right time for him to be picking form because De Bruyne is not there. I don't know why. What do you think that is wrong with Foden?
I wouldn't say anything is wrong with him. You have to also consider the fact that these footballers have been at it back and forth, playing in and out, week in, week out. At a certain level, even though the body has recovered, the mind still needs time to get in shape and be about it. And when it clicks for him mentally, he will come alive and you see the best player in the Premier League last season.
Okay, Manchester City winning that game 3-2. They stay second on the log. Arsenal is third. Okay, let's move on to the another game that happened by 3 p.m. This West Ham winning Ipswich by 4-1. Just quick one. So, how did you make your team playing and winning comfortably this time without complaints?
Ipswich can score goals and they scored again. West Ham is a good side. I told you about this pairing between Guido and Thomas, and in front of them is the top man, the best player I have in a very long time after McNoble, Lucas Paqueta. These 3 combinations in midfield and Antonio coming back to the side. Now in brain don't boot. Say you no need to bring in new player to start immediately. Now some of you can come off the bench and give his result and give account for himself, but don't start him yet. I think in Championship was the best player there for Leeds United. He was one of the best players in the Premier League before they dropped. But now he needs to get himself back into top form. And I think it's a good game for me. Overall, it's a good game. I didn't really expect this win or this result, but I was expecting to just play a draw or perhaps win by a slim margin. But it's a good result, good game for them.
Okay, remember guys, we are live on YouTube at Vote FM Sports. We have comments here. There's a name Police here. Police, welcome to the show. Let's start debate. Welcome to the show, guys. Welcome to the show. Adam, I can see you. Adam 1992, welcome to the show. Welcome to the show, guy. Emmanuel Okitibi, welcome to the show. I'm going to read some of their comments now. Police, that's the name on our YouTube channel. Police said Arsenal will win the Premier League. He's asking a question. Probably Arsenal might win the Premier League. Okay, let's smart debate. He's saying Arsenal will win. Okay, he's answering Arsenal will win the Premier League, and he's also saying Liverpool will draw points in the next 3 games after international break. We are going to international break after this weekend. After this week is international break. Then marathon till February. I think February for the next international break. So let's Matt debate is saying Arsenal is saying Liverpool will drop points in the next 3 games. Police is also saying I hope Arsenal does not fumble in the end, losing against weak teams. Adams 1992 is saying Liverpool should sign Mike Oxmal from Brentford.
Good guy.
Good guy. I think so. Good guy. Okay, police is also saying Chelsea are definitely wants to watch out for. I think they are seriously contending for top 4. Yes, I think so. Emmanuel Okitibi is saying so if Saka is not world class already, please define world class player. After 4 consistent seasons of carrying a team as Arsenal and England National Player of the Year for 2 years. Okay, Wet is saying, I love you guys so much. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show, guys. Emmanuel is also saying, John, you called Arsenal an average team.
Come on.
And only we, they threaten City back to back. Okay, Wet is saying, I love you guys so much. Thank you for joining us on today's show. And Atletus Obi, he said, KDB, that Kevin De Bruyne's absence will always be felt by City and personally by Haaland. Okay, that's our comment on our YouTube channel. Please go there, drop your comments. I'll be reading your comments. Welcome to the show, guys. Thank you for all your comments on our YouTube. Okay, let's move over to the next game that happened. West Ham winning that game comfortably 4-1. Brentford again winning against Wolves. Wolves are conceding goals. They scored 5 against Wolves. That game ended 5-2. Brentford winning that game. What do you make of Wolves? They have conceded a whole lot of goals. They conceded 6 against Chelsea. Now they are conceding 5, and they are bottom of the league.
Well, I don't know what to say now. Since you have a coach and you're a side that I think under Nuno, this is what happened. Under Nuno, they're a defensive compact team.
Then they are trying to play attacking football.
Julian came in and wanted to change it to a balanced team. From time immemorial, this team have always been a team that sits deep and play on the break. Like I said before, I said this about other teams and other clubs. You have this style of play. The only way to improve your style of play is to get a coach that knows your philosophy, that can buy into it. Then you will continue from where the last person stops and improve better than the last person. From defensive style of play to midfield balancing for Julian Lopetegui and the field, this new man is coming in to play an attacking football with defensive-minded midfielders. It becomes a problem. There's no forward passes, there's no creativity. And when they want to go on a creativity run, they have players who are supposed to make it the run forwards, run backwards to cover spaces behind players who are taking the ball forward. It becomes a problem for the person who's with the ball running forward. I know they went on to score goals. They have credible midfielders, they have Matias, they have Cunha, they have good players on their side, but it scares me to see that whenever they move forward, it's just one person getting the goal or 2 people going against 4.
I don't know what's wrong with Wolves, but I think he's going to be the first manager to be sacked.
I asked you this question the last time. I sent you a picture of the graph of managers. I think 10 managers, and I asked you who do you think will be the first person to be sacked. And everybody said it's Ten Hag.
I think he's going to go because him taking this team they bought well, but they are not really playing well. But again, Brighton scoring an early goal again. They scored in the 2nd minute of that game. Brighton just scores. Brentford just scores early goals in the Premier. This is the 3rd time or the 4th time in this league, this particular season, they have scored early goals in the first 2 minutes.
West Ham took after them when they did their first goal in the first minute of the match too. So
they're coming down.
Yes, now Antonio scored in the first minute of the match, and so Brentford have been a good side. They've been building. You can see what they are doing. My only problem is when you keep conceding goals like this. Imagine what their average goal difference would have been if these 5 goals were unreplied in this match. So I feel like they need to tighten up the defense pairing there. They need to work on the center halves. They have tightened up their defense to ensure that they don't keep conceding as much as they score, even though they keep outscoring their opposition. But kudos to them. The 2 center halves for Brentford got in on the action in scoring goals. Nathan Collins and Ethan Pinnock got in on the goal. Same for Nosgard and Mbeumo. So kudos to Brentford.
Okay, Leicester winning that game, 1-0 against Bournemouth. That quick one. So what do you make of that game? Do you think that Leicester actually? I don't think they are going to relegate. I don't think so. They're going to relegate. Even though they started that match and played the whole 90 minutes, he played now as a defensive midfielder. He and Skip. him and Skip played a defensive. I think
good combination. Oliver
yes,
Skip
he
is
played
good on
very
the ball.
well, and he
Doesn't
defended.
lose
He marshaled his midfield very well, and now let's hope that he's going to come to the Super
player
Eagles and do the same.
I look out for in that Leicester side is Bonanote.
Yes,
This guy has
scored
been
a fantastic
he has
goal
been
yesterday.
He troubled Arsenal in the last
Scored
game.
a
He has been
fantastic
good
goal
all
on
through.
Saturday.
Though I think the combination between Oliver Skip and Ndidi is kind of perfect. It's just like having what's it called now, Partey and Jorginho. Though, but Oliver Skip doesn't lose the ball. So does this guy. They are always good on their feet. They're always.
And if you want to talk about anybody that has one of the highest rates of interception and getting there, you have to call Ndidi in that conversation.
Definitely.
He knows how to do it without getting cards and do it without losing the ball
He
too.
got a yellow card.
He got it just yesterday.
Because of the pressure they mounted, because after going one goal down, they kind of felt like they want to attack Bournemouth, and you need to get the balls back. And I think for that
Yeah.
yellow card, it wasn't deserved a yellow card. It was just maybe his reaction.
And then
after
if
the
you
whistle.
check how many interceptions he had yesterday, if he were to get a yellow card for every interception, he
If you
wouldn't
get-
be
if you
finishing the
for
game.
every tackle, you wouldn't have finished the league.
Okay. The last game of on Saturday is Everton and Newcastle United. Gordon, Anthony Gordon's missed a penalty. He moved from Everton to Newcastle. They got a penalty, and he actually took it and he missed it. And I think I had one of the biggest cheers in Everton Stadium. They were actually starting rejoicing, and that game ended 0-0. What do you make of that? Gordon missing that penalty against his former side.
I think he shouldn't have been let to take the penalty because there's too much at stake here. You're playing back at the club where you started your trade in Premier League. The fans are going to be on you, unlike they were for Ramsdale. There was no bad blood there, but yeah, the fans are clearly on you because you left for a big paycheck.
Not really. They needed to make money. Now the club, now man make money, and
the
they
club
sold
won't
it.
make money now, but why are the fans now being on his?
No,
I don't think they are.
No, they were not angry.
They were not angry. They
They
were
were
just
not angry.
happy
They were happy
that they missed the
that they are
penalty.
because that was the deciding moment of the game. That penalty was the deciding moment of the game. If they had scored it, then the side would have lost. They were happy that their boy gave them,
I want to call your attention to a certain match between Arsenal and Chelsea when Czech was in the goalpost. I don't know if you remember that. For me, there's too much at stake. I would rather not have him be the one to take that penalty or be the one to
I don't
take that
understand.
penalty.
If they have
available on this side is not the Almiron. Aside from Almiron, the next person is Anthony. Then after Anthony, then you have Gimiresh and Jolinto. Now these players are not in the mind frame to take these penalties, and the only person that could take it is my guy, and he took it and he missed. You can't blame him for it. It's just it's one of those things that when it happens, like you say, oh, he's trying to show mercy. But what if he scores it, then he say he's an ingrate? So it's either ways. He still loves Everton, but
either ways too, he's also going to get backlash either from the media or
he's
from
going to
the
get backlash
fans.
from his teammates,
So
no doubt about that.
Put him in the spotlight for that one.
Okay, that game ended 0-0. Let's move back to the Sunday game. Let's start with I would like to call it the big one. Aston Villa 0, Manchester United 0. That was one of the
super Sunday.
super boring Sunday.
Super Sunday.
Super boring Sunday. Like I don't understand what happened that game. Few chances. I think overall in that game, Aston Villa and Manchester United, I think we have about just five shots.
Total of 5 shots on target. Total of 7 chances created from both sides.
It was
7
chances a flat
created.
game.
Bruno didn't create any chance. Neither did what is it called? Telemann.
Yes,
Didn't create any chance. 0 chance created. Bruno 0 shots, 0 chance. Nothing for Bruno Fernandes going forward in that game. Nothing for Telemann going forward in that game. The only player that stood up was I think Rogers, but he still missed.
No, he was driving through that midfield and kept missing the ball. He was holding the ball too much.
So that Rogers was the only standout player for me in that game for the Aston Villa side, and the only standout player for me in the Man United side was Evans and Eriksen. Now I hate to say this. I hate to say this, but if you look at the way they played, they were the standout players for Man United.
The standout player for me was Garnacho because you could see him doing something to get the side going forward.
Everton, what's it called now? Eriksen is the player, for recent days he's lost the game, he's lost the ball in important areas of the pitch.
Yes.
And they went on to concede goals for that. But in this game against Aston Villa, I didn't see him do that.
So somebody doesn't make a mistake, that makes him the standout player for the match. Come on.
It's not about him. When 35-year-old man they run like 16-year-old Peking.
Who shouldn't necessarily really be in the side in the first place?
But he still dey work to tell you say he deserve to stay there.
Okay, let me even ask. No, we keep talking about this particular Manchester United on this show. Ten Hag again. No, so is the chief supporter.
Yes.
He chief. In fact, I will give you number one supporter of Ten Hag in Nigeria. All the management of Manchester United.
Let's say style now. I want bob my head. Make I resemble Ten Hag properly.
all the management of Manchester United were seated, including Alex Ferguson. They came to watch that game, and someone was tweeting, and probably they just came to give him a farewell.
As usual, it's not a farewell because if you look at Man United play all around, they've always been present.
No, I think
Sajim, the only person that has not been present in away fixtures so far this season.
That's the point.
Jim Willox.
This is an away fixture, and everybody was seated.
The only people that has not been present for away fixtures was always Jim Willox and Sir Alex Ferguson. But for every fixture Man United has, all of them sit together. You get so this one that Ferguson was in the away stand. Joe Willox was on the away stand. I felt like okay, fine. The man in charge of technical everything is around to maybe tell the board that they are not seeing anything or let's sack him. But he still came out to say, I posted something on my status, John, you saw it and I thought you reacted to it. One man said, if this man was a Nigerian politician, he would probably win elections unopposed. Because he has sweet mouth that after every game, he has something to say that would impress the people. And he came out to say after the game that we've kept 4 clean sheets.
That's what he said again.
So
I started laughing.
No. After that statement, I feel like if this man was a politician in Nigeria, he would win elections unopposed.
Manchester
I doubt
United.
that he will win elections unopposed. Come on.
He said that it's Nigeria, so it's possible.
It's possible that he might, because he has this thing that he has to say that could cover the whole error, the whole lapses he has committed over a game.
John, if you look at that game, Manchester United has scored only 5 goals in the Premier League.
And considered 8.
And they consider more. They have -3 goals difference.
Yeah,
they have
that's
considered even more.
-3 now.
So if you look at the way they are playing, do you think that Ten Hag can survive this particular season?
He go hard. Let me know. He go hard. He go hard. You know,
14th.
they are sitting 14th. You know, the funny thing is,
He go touch everybody.
I like the fact that the journalist didn't give him a witty response, because witty response is always throwing him off his game. He's come out to tell you now that he's kept 4 clean sheets. A witty response would have been, "Where are you seated in the table?" And then he will be hanging. You know, because they are sitting 14th and you're telling me
-3 goals.
-3 goals difference, and you're telling me 4 clean sheets. Who 4 clean sheets up when you can't win matches?
The 3 goals he considered against what's it called, Tottenham Hotspur now at Old Trafford.
So whose problem is that? Not your problem.
Who caused that one? How many goals he conceded against Liverpool?
I said this before in the what's it called, the previous podcast. You can go and see it. We talked about Ten Hag, should he stay or go? And I'm saying it again. I'm going to own this one now. It's a marathon, not a sprint. Last season we saw him concede, I think, -1 goal difference at the end of the season and finished where he finished and went on to continue win the FA Cup also. This season now, this is a man. See, I've looked at his record. He's a man that wins cups. He wins trophies. You get, just because of the crisis at Man United, you can't come and start crucifying him. He has time. He needs time to build what he wants to build. We are not seeing. Yeah, see, calm down. 2 years under Glazers and 1 year. Sorry,
see,
not even 3
years. This is
a
typical thing that Ten Hag will say. He will tell you 2 years under Glazers, 1 year. This is a typical thing.
No, so don't learn.
2 years. 2 years. Because Glazers were doing transfer business.
Oh my goodness.
Glazers were doing transfer business to sell jersey, not to improve the squad depth.
See.
Now, the Indian team is here to improve footballing activity in the club. This, and you're counting 2 years or 3 years. Now, just 2 years. The third year, and then you have like, I tell people, if you're telling me happy birthday, happy 25th birthday when I'm still 24 and I know it's still 2 months to go, I feel straight for you. Because it's the add age for me. No add age for him. It's just 2 years on the job. You get, it's just 2 seasons on the job.
On the job.
Not add age for him. Now, the third season be this.
It's 3 years on the job.
No be 3 years. No add age.
You can
Picking
say...
Picking with 8 months and picking with 1 year, not be the same.
Now the same thing.
Not be the same. One still learn how to walk. One don't start to walk already.
He is a marathon, not a sprint. The bottom line is that I said it in the podcast. I'm going to say it here. I think, and the way I think about things and the way I walk around things, I am input oriented rather than output oriented. You are talking about an output of fourth position in the Premier League. You are talking about an output of winning a trophy. Bro, if you look at Man U's fundamentals, you are going to see that a lot is still haywire that has not been fixed. And if you don't fix the input, for example, now you go to the printer and you print out a document and there's an error on the document, you use marker, clean the paper, go back and print again, you will still get that error again. So Man U will keep struggling and keep suffering all this stuff till they go back to the soft copy. The soft copy is the input they make behind the scene, and they fix it mentally, get the right players, get the right manager in place, get everything they need to be in place before they can come out and turn this thing around. Because if they don't do it, they are going
to stick with Ten Hag and see if they can get results.
To stick with Ten Hag and go to
when they got in some coaches, I think when they got in some coaches, they didn't finish in the top 4. Even their legendary father of all fathers, Sir Alex, they didn't finish in the top 4 in his first 4 years. So calm down, give him time.
So because Alex took 4 years, this guy took 4 years.
Arteta on that job didn't get 2 years, he was still sitting outside the top 4. So give this man time. It's just what they are saying.
Well, we can stay and argue if we need time or not, but the management of Manchester United have to decide if they are going, the amount of time actually they are going to give him. But I think that this year, he said on his own words, he said, give me this year. So I don't think if he didn't get the result this year, I don't think he's going to survive. Be on that seat next season. But let's see what they are going to be doing toward the end of the season. Let's give Emery his flowers, because he has built this Aston Villa side now.
Yes, you know, when you can achieve this result without waiting for 6 years, like Ten Hag, you should be giving your flowers. Flowers should be given to Maresca too for doing what he's doing in less time than Ten Hag, and flowers should be given to every good coach out there that don't need 15 years to do what you need to do. We see you, we love you, we respect you.
Now talking about
Ten Hag out.
Now talking about Maresca has played out a 1-1 draw at the Stamford Bridge. That game ended a lot of chances in the second half. First half was a little bit boring, but it was fun, but a little bit boring. But in the second half, everything went to life. Nottingham Forest scored the first goal, Chelsea equalized, and that red card from your guy, what's his name again? Ward-Prowse. He handled the ball and he got his matching orders. Then they had to play almost 15 minutes with a record. Even in that game, had a whole lot of drama. At some point, the players started fighting. Everywhere was scarlet. Yellow cards was flashing everywhere. But that game was the intense second half, and that game ended 1-1. Maresca, so he's always talking about that food go burn.
Go sweet.
Yes, bad belle.
Go burn about belle, but
not be bad belle.
Bad belle, nothing you won't call him. In fact, Chelsea fans want to give this guy London X. Don't run.
Nothing you want tell me. I've said this before. I won't use because of Maresca's first 6 months to say he has done great for Chelsea. I don't talk him before. Which manager apart from Pochettino? Wait now, calm down. Man United and Chelsea will be the same. Man United, they give time. They give you like 4 years before they sack you, 3 years before they sack you.
And so Maresca's 6 months is like 3 years for Man U. Because Chelsea they keep manager.
Which manager for Chelsea don't enter the job, stay more than first 7 games, no show results? Now only Pochettino don't come, slow down towards the end of the season, he kick off. Potter kick off immediately now. Potter kick off show immediately now. After like 10 games, starts the drop. Pochettino come start from that dropping. Starts the
I like how you like giving blanket statements about managers.
So I'm just saying, this man now, he don't come into the job. First 6 months, he don't they fire. Everybody they hail him. Moko see how the season go. Moko see where they go finish first. I said this is a marathon, not a sprint. So people start with high pace. And towards the middle of the lap, 12th lap, you're seeing them gap for air. You get? I don't see marathon where say after marathon of maybe 30 laps, after 12 laps, that's not the faint.
So
because it starts with too much pace.
Likewise, you can't gas other players in the marathon to slow down for you.
That's just the problem.
You can't slow other people. You can't pause other people so that you can pick up your own pace.
It's the same thing I'm saying.
Last, if you don't still pick up your own pace, you go finish where you go finish, which is 16th Avenue. So everybody that's one thing. If you understand that you only have 38 games, you take each game the way it is as your last game on the job and you play it to perfection. And by the time you look up, you are 35 games in and you've had an incredible season, just like City had last year. So that's all it is. anything other than that, looking at the noise, looking at who you're able to bring, who you're not able to bring in. We have managers like Lampard that have come in and not been able to sign a player and have done well. They have a couple of them too that have come in, weren't given good funding by their clubs and have still done well. So nobody has the right to say that give me 1 year. You are not the arbiter of your time at the club. You are not the arbiter of your time at the club. Your own is focusing on your job, focusing on your responsibilities, and as the results pile up, time is given to you. Simple.
You forget that Chelsea almost lost this game to a 10-man Nottingham Forest.
They almost lost the
They
game.
almost lost the game.
Almost.
But Chelsea also almost won the match too. Look at the
wait. You dey talk about just 2 chances wey Chelsea create after Nottingham Forest collect red card and 2 shot attack wey they play after Nottingham Forest collect red card.
Chelsea could have also won
chances.
the match too.
Wait, you're not talking about the 7 chances that the goalkeeper Sanchez saved after the Nottingham Forest took their red card.
Same thing too for Nottingham goalkeeper.
Make Nottingham Forest. Now you're saying Chelsea is cooking. Nottingham Forest get red card. Understand? Nottingham Forest get red card. They play you half feed. Then you have to beg for a counter attack to get 2 shots off target or 1 shot on target and 1 shot off target. You have to Chelsea. It
cuts both ways. It cuts both ways. Go and look at Man U begging to draw 20 in that match. And look at them begging to draw 20 with full 11 players.
Nuno actually did present his team.
Nuno play well. Now good coach.
Well. He lost only 1 game against Fulham.
No doubt and no disrespect to Nuno, but let's call it as it is. If this Chelsea side has been turned around with the right type of players they need and the right type of signings they've been in, because this Chelsea side is still wanting for a marksman. And if that marksman was in that game yesterday, we'd be seeing a totally different song, because Chelsea would have won it over and won the match.
As they don't get the marksman.
That's why he ended the draw.
Not be why. This will still you still forget you are taking away the credit.
I'm not taking any credit away from
this man go what's it called?
It was so phenomenal. What happened at Tottenham?
But something.
If it was so phenomenal, yes, now let's call it as it is.
Even Mourinho.
Let's call it as it is. If it's so phenomenal, what happened there?
How many
matches? How many was his win rate?
Wait, now
let's go there.
No best. Since you want drag and go there, Mourinho has always won a trophy everywhere he went to. Yes, Mourinho has won a trophy everywhere he went to. Why he no touch trophy for Tottenham?
Was he not? Was asked.
Why you sure?
Exemption for Mourinho.
How you take sure say if he reach that final, he go win am?
Mourinho was on the way to a final.
He was on his way. He never reach.
Which means he has already qualified.
Final.
And as a seasoned winner, he goes in and he wins things. So Tottenham did not want to win any trophy that year. That's why they asked him, don't come and take us to be a Man U. We don't want to win things. We are Butler's Club FC. Leave us where we are. That's why they asked Mourinho. They don't want to win anything.
He got to the finals. And I think first week of January, he was asked of his job. Why? Because Tottenham, his record for club, so his record for league was not good enough. Carabao Cup was not enough for them. They couldn't settle with Carabao Cup. But his record in the league was not good enough for this side.
And with which funding?
They gave him, this guy didn't have enough funding. Poch go Champions League final, no get enough funding. But they still go Champions League final with average players.
How many years was he on the
in the Premier League? That's because how can you in the Premier League? That's because how can you go 10 games since the history?
Bottle water.
That's because how can you go 10 games since the history?
Bottle water.
Bottling company of England.
So, but if you look at that game, I think Brighton came back to fight and win that game comfortably.
See, I like this game because at first when we were seeing the game earlier in the stage, thought Godwin was like they are fighting against our winning games. Because when he said this, I'm like, now Tottenham they play and now Brighton, Fabian D. He said nobody coached there and they lose match. And he pointed at Fabian, I'm like, okay, most see as the game go. But remember saying that Tottenham they play. They're not going to be compete with this intensity for 90 minutes. And because these are the same people Man United are competing against. And before we could go and get snacks to back and see the rest of the game,
it's 3-2.
I called him on phone. Bro, I'm seeing 2-2 here. He said, no, I'm coming back. And immediately we came back, sat down to continue the game. Immediately we were sitting down, we were seeing the screen. It's 3-2. I'm like, how did they score the goal? I was here and I didn't even know how the goal got into the net. And we sat together and we're like, see. And he said, But that was when he decided these people don't bottle them, nothing. And I told him it's Chelsea. That was when he decided these people don't bottle them, nothing. And I told him it's Chelsea. is Tottenham Hotspur. They would always have difficulties playing against teams that come at them towards the end of the game. And we showed again last night.
Okay, John, before we go into that game, we are live on YouTube at Vote FM Sports, and we have a comment there that is interesting I want to read. And Cletus Obi is saying Brighton versus Tottenham Hotspur was the match of the week. Buda never made one complete pass after making 30 minutes appearance.
Wow.
He murdered one counter attack, never made a necessary cross, and missed all passes. Buda need to work on his confidence. Okay, that game against Brighton, and everybody was surprised because even the coach of Tottenham Hotspur came out and he couldn't understand what happened. They were playing well in the first half, suddenly in the second half they collapsed, John.
Yeah, I have always said this thing before. Be careful when you celebrate before the game is over. Be careful when you feel like you're in the lead, you're in control. This is football. One split second, you're out and you're chasing the game, and it's never a good thing. So Tottenham need to be wary of this. If you look at their previous encounters in the Premier League this season, you've seen them conceding a whole lot of goals, and it's not nice. So for me, it's something they need to go back to the drawing board to go and work on, because it's not good enough for the Premier League. It's not good enough for the Tottenham Spurs team. And but you can't help it too, because Brighton were on top form. They had a good game too against Tottenham Hotspur. So
okay,
I think the best team won.
Okay, that game ended 3-2 and Tottenham bottled their lead. Okay, guys, that's all for the English Premier League. I'm going to open your phone line, take some of your calls and some of your contributions for this Premier League. The number to call is 0706 048 5853. Call us and tell us what you think about the weekend's game in the Premier League. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning, guys in the studio.
Good morning.
Aston from my birthday.
Okay, what is your contribution?
Well, I want to talk about Mario and Aston Villa.
Okay.
Yeah, I was even expecting United to lose this game so that this man will be sad. We are tired of Eric Ten Hag. See, look at Chelsea. Chelsea is now talking to United fans in Nigeria because they are winning their game. But it's better for me to cry at the beginning of the season and laugh at the end, and to laugh at the beginning and cry at the end. Last season we are better than Chelsea. Yes, they may say that they are ahead of us in the table, but they have nothing to show up at the end of the season. But we have something to show up at the end of the season. So we won the FA Cup last season, Cali Cup last 2 seasons, but they have nothing to show for that 2 seasons. Now, even their coach Enzo Maresca now, where he's trying now, but they should remember that this is still not championship, and I will not be surprised if this program has been started. And this Nottingham Forest, they look as if they are giant killer this season. They know what they did to Liverpool, and they still want to do the same to Chelsea. Those people, they are the people that we put some fun on some people's gallery, but Chelsea fans, people should remember we have a long way to go.
Okay.
At the end, we complain about your coach not being a good coach, not being good. I know how funny they are. Yes, let me just put it that way. Chelsea fans, they are very funny. When the things start happening, they start complaining about coach, why they give the average coach, why they give them this and that. United is better than Chelsea anytime, anyway. They have spent 1 billion over some season, but United has not spent anything but won a trophy to show that we are not just doing for business. We know what we are doing, and we are trying our best to make our fans happy at the end of the season. People they are not happy at the beginning, but at the end they have something to smile on. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
You spent 600 and something million as well, so you can't say you haven't spent anything.
Okay, 0706. Let's take few calls before we talk Rangers International. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, my brother and young brother in the studio.
Good morning.
Good morning.
This is Engineer Additional from Transeco.
Okay. Welcome to the show.
You know, I told you on Saturday that Man U game is be a draw, and Chelsea game will be a draw. I already see it, and that's how that thing is. And number 2, John, because we are supporting Man City, you are called Arsenal halfway club. The point of Man City, tell me the goals of Man City.
I think
you don't know what I think they right do on last season. This season, don't see what I play in your own home. Don't worry, don't need to talk everything. By the time the match will come to 33 matches, you will know the man out of Man City and Arsenal, and you know our logo. The Gunners for life.
The Gunners for life. All right, thank you very much. Okay, let's move on to let's move on to Rangers International. Rangers International won that game and in Enugu yesterday. That lovely free kick was scored and it was a wonderful goal. Now Rangers have moved fourth on the table. If you look at that game, how do you make of that game? Because Rangers they are pushing, and I thought Ilechuku when they scored that game, it was raining, so everybody was cold, but everybody was gingering.
The rain didn't allow us to enjoy the game because we could have been singing at the top of our voice, would have been chanting.
The cold was too much.
The cold was just too much. It was really heavy, but on top of I wear sweater, I still they feel the cold on my throat now. But it was a good game so far yesterday. At some point, I think thanks to the innovation of the stadium, because I think 3 years ago, if there was heavy rain, you have to suspend the game. But now rain go dey fall, the match will still go on because the stadium has been renovated, everything is good, there's drainage pattern is all fine, and when the rain comes, it just wash away. And the stadium was still good till the end of the game. And I felt like that game should have been more. They could have given more to that game. They could have given more flair to that game. It was an oriental derby. We expected Abia Warriors to come in with a fight, of course, which they did against Enyimba in the last game, their previous games. But they came to this Enugu Stadium with an expectation that they would come and get a result, which was not enough for them in this game because Rangers were also looking to get a result. They also want to finish where they finished last season. Like I said, where you finished last year is not supposed to be where you are this year. You start from there and continue the race and improve yourself. For Rangers, they've improved themselves. But getting just one goal is not enough. One goal lead in a game is not enough.
Okay, other games. Let me give you other results in Nigerian professional league that happened in the weekend. On Saturday is Nobi Stars 1, Shooting Stars 0, Bendel 1, Academy Warriors 1, Nasarawa United 0, Bayern 0, Kano Pillars 2. Our man Musa with Kano Pillars, he scored the goals for Kano Pillars. They winning that game. Sunshine Stars 0, Rivers United 2, Aqua United 1, Heartland 2, Niger Tornadoes 0. Kwara 1, Remo Stars 0. Remo losing their first game of the season. Plateau United 1, Ikorodu City 0. Rangers International 1, Abia Warriors 0. And Enyimba trashing Katsina United 3-0. And Remo Stars still stay on top of the league, and Rangers have moved to fourth on the table. Let's hope that Rangers International will keep moving and defend. They're the defending champions of the Premier League, and let's hope that throughout this league that they're going to do well and defend their title. Remember, guys, we are live every day on YouTube at Vote FM Sports, and I have some few comments here I'm going to read before we end the show. Samuel Johnson is saying the problem with Wolves is that they sold their best players without proper replacing them. That's why Santos left. Samuel is also saying, as for Chelsea, they will always blow hot and cold till the team properly gels. Samuel Johnson is saying, Tottenham is always Tottenham. They will always pause it. Always. No, Tottenham always bottles it at the end. Okay, tomorrow, guys, we are going to be talking about more of Premier League and what. No, it's international break. International break is starting. The international football is going to happen this way, so we have a whole lot of time. So I'm going to take in most of your calls tomorrow. Tell me your club. Tell me what you think your club is doing, especially Manchester United. Your club are suffering. I know you people are suffering. Call me tomorrow and explain to me. Cry to me. Let me see what you people are suffering. Let's hear your own complaints about Manchester United, Chelsea fans, Arsenal fans, Liverpool fans. Call us and tell us. I don't know if you have a City fans in this town, but call us and tell us what you think your club will be finishing at the end of the season. And you can also join us every day on YouTube at Vote FM Sports. Okay, we have last comment here. Osemeke is saying, Man U fans should keep faith with Ten Hag. Okay, this is how we are going to end in today's show. Thank you for joining us. Tomorrow I'll be taking all your calls about your club. Please call me tomorrow on the show. Thank you for joining us on today's show. We have a fantastic today. We talk football on Vote Sports, Vote every single day, Monday to Saturday. Have a lovely weekend. Have a lovely day and lovely week. My name is Godwin, signing out.